don't even know how he began. I know it took place. I heard the records. My favorite, like I said, was Raid. This and Meek Mill, 10 minutes straight record. That was a 10-minute record and it was fire. I'm not gonna lie. Cassidy went in on Meek Mill, bro. Gave him some advice and dissed him at the same time, and some lessons on what to do and tips. Like that was the whole this record towards Meek Mill. But let's see. Hopefully they will show how this started, how it took place. And let's just watch and see what.
Any of y'all niggas asked me about a Cassidy question, we're gonna cut the interview. This a hip hop, this Philly, so we're gonna do whatever. We ain't got no limits to this interview. But first of all, cuz he a weirdo from the town. We ain't gonna use his name no more. Cuz he a weirdo from the town. He can't come back to the city really. Last 5 times he been back to the city, he was back here with me or either ARF. He ain't addressed everything ARF said in none of his raps because he won't address it. He's scared to address it. He won't dare address that. And ARF ain't saying nothing new. He been saying.
I hope this is not how the beef started, bro. Because Meek was going off, like not even holding back nothing, bro. Was literally just popping his shit like crazy. Is this how he started? Was this like what really took place? What really set the beef to start?
Like this, he only saying it because of the camera.
Nah, I mean, if you would have asked me a year ago about Meek, you know what I'm saying, I would have had nothing but love for him. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of records with him when he was in Philly before he got in this situation. You know, I bought him out the shows, BB Kings, everywhere I was at, I was rocking out with him. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt as though once he got on, things wasn't exactly the same. I don't know if it was because he was busy or he switched his pitch, but I don't know.
Meek Mill and Cassidy once had a solid friendship, but that bond turned sour real quick. What started as mutual respect between two Philly spitters spiraled into one of the wildest rap beefs the city's ever seen. And the diss tracks, straight legendary.
Legendary,
going
yes.
from there, I wanted to ask.
That shit was hard, bro. I feel like this rap beef deserves way more credit, bro. Why aren't people talking about this rap beef still? I don't understand. Like, we need to add this rap beef into the one of the most legendary rap beefs ever. Now, who won? I would go with Cassidy, bro. That Raid, 10 minutes straight record, just dissing Meek Mill for 10 minutes straight was fire, bro. Honestly. And even the song is too underrated, bro. It deserves way more credit. This rap beef deserves way more credit. Two guys from the same city going at each other. You know, two battle rappers as well, knowing that they both battle rappers from the same city. How can you not add this rap beef here into one of the most legendary rap beefs in the rap history, in hip-hop history even? Like, I don't know how people are sleeping on this rap beef so much, bruv. And even Drake versus Meek Mill is getting there as well. He's becoming underrated. He's getting to a point now where people are sleeping on so much. They forgetting how Drake done Meek Mill, bro. Honestly. And this one is definitely a goated rap battle between the two spitters from Philly, same city and everything.
Ask you, man, how did the beef, if you would call it that, even with Meek Mill, originally start?
Misunderstandings. You know what I mean? I had a relationship with Meek Mills before his like success. We did a lot of records together, hung out a lot of times. There's even a lot of footage that you could pull up and see of us, you know what I mean, developing a relationship before his success. But it was once he got more successful and started putting out singles, I reached out to him to work on a record. It made more sense now. We had records before when I was popping already and you was like up and coming. So it was like more one-sided, you know what I'm saying? But now that you got records out and you popping like throughout the whole country, if we do a record together, it'd be big for the city. So I reached out and tried to get it done, but I guess it was a misunderstanding in the timing and the...
Bro, what I'm getting from here is that he didn't respond, basically. Like Cassidy's saying it was a misunderstanding, but what I'm really getting from me is that he aired him. Meek Mill literally aired him, like didn't respond to his message, and he took it personal. Oh, so now that you're big, Yeah, and at that time, you go understand, Meek Mill was really at his peak, right? It was popping, it was really doing his thing. One of the hottest rappers. He was like a hot rap at the time at his very peak. And Cassidy was just like Meek at his peak and everything, but in the early 2000s though. We talking like early 10s. This is when it was Meek's time. Cassidy's time had already gone and it had already passed. So obviously Cassidy wasn't as hot as Meek at that time. So Meek probably looked at it like, yeah, nah, I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't even pop it like that anymore, bro. I'm popping now. I'm the hottest thing now. I'm really not trying to go there. You feel like you would probably, stoop low. It would stoop too low, making a record with Cassidy, because Cassidy ain't as popping as Meek was at that time. So therefore, he probably felt like that. I'm not saying this is what happened, but from what I'm getting here, this is exactly how it went down. Meek probably let ego get in the way, thinking, oh, I'm bigger than this guy now. This guy ain't even as big as he used to be. I don't know. He probably took it like he fell off. He's not what he used to be. Probably look at it that way, because Cassidy wasn't even like, you know what I mean? Because you got guys like Chris Brown. They keep the relevancy. Did I say it right? Damn, that shit's fucked up. And I'm alive. Wow. Relevancy. Damn. Oh my god. Am I saying relevancy? Yeah, there you go. Oh my god. That was so bad. Relevancy. Hey, my only excuse for that, guys, you're gonna have to excuse me. English is not my first language, so just bear with me, okay? When I'm trying to say certain words and come up with certain words. But anyway, that's besides the point. So his relevancy wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's rappers out there, there's artists out there like Chris Brown can keep the relevancy for years, from the time they start until now, and they're still popping. Some people can't. They get to a point where they're not as relevant as they once were when they came out. And this was Cassidy's situation when Meek Mill was hot and popping, right? Meek got to a point where he was actually popping and doing well. Everybody was talking about Meek. Meek was at his very peak, right? And Cassidy was not longer at that level. You know what I mean? His relevancy was no longer what it was anymore, So Meek probably looked at it like that, like, nah, bro, I'm not trying to like go there and make a record with this guy, bro. You know what I mean? It's not gonna do any good for me. I'm trying to make a record with the big dogs who are popping and who are up there with me. You know what I'm saying? At their very peak, at the very high. And that's how probably Meek looked at it, from what I'm getting here. Not saying this is what happened, but this is exactly what I'm getting here. Considering that he didn't even respond to Cassidy's message when Cassidy was trying to make a record with him, it would have been beneficial to Cassidy, because he wasn't even as relevant anymore. I fuck with Cassidy though. Cassidy's a dope rapper, but I'm just keeping it G real, fam. Cassidy was no longer as hot as he used to be. He still makes records and everything else, but he wasn't. Let's keep it a band. Cassidy was hot in the early 2000s, but fast forward early 10s, no more. Not as hot as he used to be. So therefore, Cassidy, Meek Mill probably looked at it that way though. He probably looked at it that way. And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, because a humble person who doesn't let ego get in the way don't care. It will make a record with anyone. It don't matter. Especially someone who we used to hang out with, who we used to look up to, who we used to go to and ask for tips and advice on how to get better. Definitely, you're never gonna skip a call or a message from the guy that gave you tips and help you get better with your rapping skills, And this was Meek Mill's and Cassidy's relationship at the time when Meek Mill was trying to make it into the rap scene.
Response and getting the record done, it seemed like it was like real easy before the success came. But I still had success, and I was making it easy for him to reach out, get records done. But when he got a little bit of success, it seemed like it was like it just was, the timing was off, things was different. So at the time, I just responded in a way, and that's how the whole shit started. But, he don't owe me a record. It's not like he gotta definitely do nothing for me. Like, we don't never gotta work again for the rest of our life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just be misunderstandings of emotion. Sometimes you don't understand what niggas got going on in their life, what they capable of. I mean, he could be thinking like, yo, Cass gonna get busy, so I gotta really fully lock in and dedicate time to writing the best verse so we could do it big for the city, and I don't got that time right now. Who knows what could have been going on, you know what I'm saying? So it could have been just a misunderstanding, misinterpretations, but shit like that happened, and that's why we started dropping the songs and things like.
Let's rewind and break down how this whole clash even started. Back in the early to mid-2000s, a young Robert Williams, better known now as Meek Mill, was sharpening his skills in Philly's gritty underground battle scene.
Right, that's how
he
it
was
started,
hungry,
right.
grinding in the trenches, building a name off raw talent and relentless energy. Meanwhile, Cassidy was already a problem in the city.
He was.
He'd been tearing up the battle rap circuit since the 90s, undefeated, with a slick flow and punchlines that hit hard. Cassidy was no regular street rapper. He caught major attention and eventually signed with the Rough Riders as part of a group called Larceny. But he didn't stop there. He became the face of Full Surface Records, a label run by none other than his mentor, Swizz Beatz. Cassidy's big breakout moment came when he featured on Bigger Than Business alongside Snoop Dogg, Jadakiss, and Diddy. After that, it was up. His debut album, Split Personality, dropped on March 16, 2004, and it made waves, selling 118,000 copies in its first week.
Whoa.
The reason you let me down is because I'm on Twitter yesterday and I'm arguing with people. I'm like, when it comes to songs, Meek Mill might make better songs, but when it comes to battle rapping, he don't want no problems with Cassidy.
He definitely don't.
But then I hear the diss record and I'm like, it wasn't what I was expecting. You could have came a little harder.
That's because it wasn't a diss record, you know what I'm saying? I was messing around with the beats, got my MP back, was banging out and just put something together. But I just put it out a couple hours after we went through that Twitter situation, so everybody called it a Meek diss. But it wasn't. It just was a record that I just put out just to get the street some bars. If I do a diss record, it's going to be on the ether level, if not worse. It's going to be direct. You're going to know it's a diss record. You're going to know who I'm talking about. That was just a little record I just threw out there for the streets to keep them fed, you know what I'm saying?
So all the kidnapping of your daughter, that wasn't Meek. That wasn't for Meek.
Nah, none of that was for Meek.
Oh,
You
okay.
listen to the
Meek has
bars.
his son.
You listen to the bars, you could know that wasn't directed at him. That was just, I was just rapping.
All right, now let's talk about you and Meek Mill for a second, because obviously that's a hot topic that's been
without a
going on.
question.
What is the problem with you two? Is it really just over this battling and then it just went too far, or were there problems before this?
Nah, I mean, if you would have asked me a year ago about Meek, you know what I'm saying, I would have had nothing but love for him, you know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of records with him when he was in Philly before he got in this situation. You know, I bought him out the shows, BB Kings, everywhere I was at, I was rocking out with him, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt as though once he got on, things wasn't exactly the same. I don't know if it was because he was busy or he switched his pitch, but I don't know. But I still kept it all the same, you know what I mean? Until I started seeing him talking crazy on Twitter. I know y'all know, like a couple months ago, he started saying little slick stuff on Twitter because I retweeted something somebody said. I'm not even sure if I read the whole tweet. I just wanted to let him know that people on the street want to see us still do music like how we used to now that he on, you know what I'm saying? But he started talking crazy on Twitter, so I wanted to wait till I got a chance to see him.
What do you mean by talking crazy?
I don't remember the exact message he put, but he is up there, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
He
was
said
it something you know was directed
Damn,
towards
you
you?
got
or-
at least remember, bro.
Definitely, it was directed
He
towards
definitely added
me.
you in the tweet.
Yeah, he definitely directed it towards me, and he was talking a little crazy, so I wanted to wait until I got a chance to see him. He talking about, I'm always home, you could come see me, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait till I see him and see, you know what I'm saying, where we at with it. I seen him at the 2K party, we was busting it up. He was making it seem like everything was cool. I was in the studio the other day, I left it alone. And then a little while ago, people start calling me, telling me he wanted to battle me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that don't make sense to me. He know what I'm capable of. So for him to want to battle me, I just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I was gonna get the money away to charity. We got the sponsors to put up the chicken for us. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it'd be good for hip hop. No disrespect to the music y'all play or the music that dudes doing nowadays, but it ain't too focused on bars how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Dude used to be focused on saying the craziest things, and now it's more about having fun. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it'd bring some excitement back into hip hop. I thought it'd be a good look for hip hop, for battle rappers, and for the culture period. So I was willing to do it. But a little later I found out that he ain't want to battle me. He said that he wanted me and Mook to battle, and he wasn't really wanting to battle, even though he said he wanted to get back in the battle game with underground rappers. He did say that. And he said if he could battle somebody that was on it, it'd be even better. So from me coming to the table, I should have fit in that category. But you know, he know what I'm capable of, so I guess he just reconsidered when I said I wanted to do it. So once I found that out, I left it alone till I was in the studio the other day. And all of a sudden, I hear you talking crazy on Twitter again. I look at the tweet.
Yeah, I got the tweet here. He said you gotta get popping first.
Yeah,
to battle
like
me.
you know what I'm saying.
Yo, what's good? How you doing, Chiefs? Zami? I'm gonna call you Zami. I hope you're doing well on this fine morning, bro. We are doing a very early stream today. It's early where I am. Don't know what time it is in your country where you are, but I hope you're well, bro. I hope you're enjoying your weekend still. Ox, alright, bro. Say less. Yeah, man. What time is in your country right now, bro? Yeah, man. Hope you enjoyed this stream. We're doing a cool little video reaction of Meek Mill and Cassidy back when they had that rap beef. I figured I would, reminisce this time again, bro. Like I said, and I'll say it again. This was a very, very underrated rap beef, fam. But probably one of the most legendaries to go down in hip-hop history. So I had to react and bring this back. You feel me? It's 3:34 a.m. right now. Oh shit, it's late, bro. Late.
And I'm thinking like, wow, like
you
know what I'm
still
saying?
up?
Like, years and years ago when he was probably in middle school, I had plaques on my wall. You know what I'm saying? I got platinum
Facts.
singles. So I mean, everybody got their own opinion. You say he make better songs, that's cool. He got his little wave right now. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. But I been did that, you know what I'm saying? I been laid that groundwork for my city. So for me to be popping, what do you mean? Like
before my man was even a thing, before Meek even signed his first record deal, who did he sign with at first? Was it T.I. or was it with someone else? Before he even met Rick Ross and all these guys, man, I know a little history because I watched the Meek Mill's documentary. I think it was on YouTube. Don't know if they removed it. And it was a pretty cool, interesting, documentary. Yeah, at one point this guy was popping. This guy was popping. When you look up to the giants, when you're trying to make it into the rap game, you gotta show respect when you get there. You can't just step over the giants and the guys that you learn from and overlook and downplay them because now you're doing better than they're doing now. You get to a point where now you're doing better than the guy who you used to look up to, but never forget where you came from. Never forget that at one point when you was trying to be in that position, bro was already in a position that you're currently in now. You know what I mean? So now that he might not be as popping as you, just remember that he was once popping like you are now. So I feel like ego can get in a way, bro. Ego can get in a way, and if you don't have control over that, bro, it will make you try to disrespect the guys that you once looked up to. The guys that came after you. I mean, the guys that came after you, these are the guys that you should be showing respect to and give your flowers to, because they're the reason why you are even in a position that you're in. Not that you owe them anything, but you learn from them, you watch them, you go inspired by them. You feel me? They're the reason why you kind of wanted to take this shit to the next level, and you even wanted to do the things they were doing before. And now that you're capable of doing that, how you just gonna turn your back on them? And this is the problem about letting the ego get in the way. You gotta have control over these things, bro, so you don't disrespect the guys that you once looked up to.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really understand exactly what he meant. But at the end of the day,
I guess he means relevant, like right now, like what's hot at the moment.
Yeah, but once we get into that battle and somebody get their head bit off, then I'ma automatically be hot again. So but I don't want people to think it was some publicity stunt on my behalf. Like I just came up with this plan to attack somebody that's popping right now. Right. I just was responding to what he was doing and what he was saying. Facts. It wasn't like I initiated it.
One of the biggest tracks from the project, Hotel with R. Kelly. It was everywhere. Then came I'm a Hustler on June 28, 2005, which only pushed Cassidy higher. But by January 2006, everything took a dark turn.
You had an accident?
Cassidy got caught up in a serious case. He was arrested and later convicted of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and possession of a weapon. He ended up serving 11 to 23 months behind bars. After getting out of prison, Cassidy came back swinging. He dropped his 3rd album, B.A.R.S., The Barry Adrian Reese Story, on November 6, 2007. pushing 63,000 copies in the first week. But not long after, Cassidy split.
I ain't gonna lie, that was less than what he sold the first time. When he dropped his first album, was it Split Personality? What was it? 113k copies he sold on the first album he dropped. Yeah, he sold about that. To go from that to 63k, yeah, kind of a flop though. I think that's when his career started to decline a little bit, can't lie.
Split from Swizz Beatz and cut ties with his label.
Streets
What happened?
Cassidy split from Swizz Beatz and cut ties with his label.
The streets want to know, they've been locked on you for
Maybe that wasn't the right decision, bro, to split ties with Swizz Beatz, bro.
last couple of weeks now.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't.
You've been going back and forth with Cassidy. They want to know, will you respond or not?
See, my whole thing is when you're going back and forth with somebody, man, if you think 3 weeks back, you wouldn't have asked me this question. If we this record or whatever, and after this record, the next day you gotta try to drop a new song and you try and benefit off me, that's when it becomes not a game anymore. You know what I'm saying? You ain't benefiting off of me. That little shit, your interviews, that go away in 4 weeks and 50 days or some shit like that. That shit is all over with. So you know what I'm saying? When it become that, it ain't fun no more to me. It's a nigga trying to steal from me, basically. And you know what I'm saying? I just let you hear 3-4 minutes of me going in on dude, but I ain't gonna drop it. My whole thing is, man, I make boss moves, I make power moves, I get money, I'm living life, I'm taking care of my family, my bills is paid up. If that's, the game, it ain't nothing really going on right now. So for the internet wise, they don't got nothing else to look forward to when they wake up. All they got to do is Cassidy this and Meek Mill this. We ain't doing that no more. Make a single. I don't do that all the time. That's not my twist. You know what I'm saying? I did it for the hell of it. You was running your mouth. First of all, we gonna get this out the way too. This is one last time. And this only for a Finny interview. Any of y'all niggas ask me about a Cassidy question, we're gonna cut the interview. This a hip hop, this Philly, so we gonna do whatever. We ain't got no limits to this interview. But first of all, cuz he a weirdo from the town. We ain't gonna use his name no more. Cuz he a weirdo from the town. He can't come back to the city really. Last 5 times he been back to the city, he was back here with me or either ARF. He ain't addressed everything ARF said in none of his raps because he won't address it. He's scared to address it. He won't dare address it. That's crazy, bro. And ARF ain't saying nothing new. He been saying
go
like
in
this.
that, go like
we
that.
talk every day, damn near. And this before when ARF got shot 10 times. I'm the only nigga talking to him. When he did the song with Swiss, I played parts in putting that together with ARF and linking with Swiss and doing the song. Cuz not even official. Back in the day, it was either you with 50 Cent or Ja Rule. I was with 50 Cent. No disrespect to Ja Rule. I was with 50 Cent. Ja Rule, 50 Cent made Ja Rule look bad at the time. And
Same.
I'm with 50 Cent, man. It's like if you see O'Malley go on a DVD and talk crazy about me, don't listen to my raps no more. If he tell you, he might just be, if it's 45 minutes of just straight nonsense, he just going in on me. I don't want you to listen to my shit no more. It's real and it's fake, and that's the difference with the game right now, man. I stick to the script. You won't see me with no tight ass clothes on, no freaky ass clothes, no dumbass songs to sell no records. I stick to the script. I make good music. I rap hood shit. I rap about money, the life I'm living right now. I ain't doing none of that freak dumbass shit. And for a nigga to say they made a lane for Philly, y'all niggas first you had a dumbass song, Come to My Hotel. Drummer bass, a dumbass song. Drinking my two-step, a dumbass song. None of my shit don't even go near a direction like that.
How is disrespecting the songs like that, bro? How is disrespecting Cassidy's records like that when these are the records that he was probably listening to at the time and what inspired him before he even made it? This is crazy, fam. This is a crazy switch up. I bet you anything, because you gotta understand those records there that you just mentioned, these are the records that made Cassidy more popular, that actually took Cassidy's career off to a whole different level. I know for a fact that Meek was listening to those records, bro, and he was getting inspired off those records. I know for a fact that he was, bro. He had to. For you to go from that to this, the same way you're saying now because you're up, it's mad. I'm not gonna lie. This is mad work, bruv. This is absolutely insane. What? No way, bro. They just done that, fam.
I knew, but same old. You ever see my Ghost before? I ride through my hood in my Ghost when I had my shit out here. Same old attitude, but I never. They said they gonna rob me, see me never do shit. Meet me in the bathroom, I fuck a while the water running. That's me and Leak Wayne's out Vegas. When I see my youngin' in the other room fucking, I'm like, that's my Leak Wayne's before he went to the NBA. I don't hang around because he in the NBA. You'll never see me with Leak Wayne's. That was me and him out Vegas. Been doing this shit was years ago. House party been out for 2-3 years now. And you know, my shit don't consist of that. For a month, only thing I say, open the door for fucking Philly. I say Beanie Siegel. I say in the prop, a few motherfuckers from the prop. I mean, really Freeway. I say Beanie Siegel. I say Freeway. I say the Roots. I say the Eve. I say Jill Scott. I say Will Smith. I don't think a homie when it comes to Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And a Philly motherfucker shouldn't even want to represent. They don't even dress like he from Philly.
That
they
is
wear
mad,
5X
bro.
shirts and dumbass fake ass
That
Air Force
is
Ones
mad.
and do-rags and shit like that.
How is he disrespecting, bro, like that?
Things were starting to shift.
That's fucked, bro. This is exactly what really started the beef, fam.
Now let's rewind it a bit to 2006. Around that time, Robert Williams officially stepped into his solo rap career, calling himself Meek Mills, before trimming it down to just Meek Mill. He started heating up the streets with a string of mixtapes, especially his iconic Flamer series. That tape had the hood buzzing. But Meek's rise didn't come without setbacks. In 2008, he got hit with a charge for possession of drug paraphernalia and ended up sentenced to 11.5 to 23 months behind bars, plus 7 years of probation. Then, in January 2009, Meek was locked up, but by June, just 5 months later, he got out on parole and had to follow house arrest rules. When Meek touched back down, guess who was there to welcome him? Cassidy. Yep, the Philly vet showed him love, and the two kicked it heavy for a minute. There's even old footage of them trading freestyles right in Meek's living room. It looked like they were on the same team. Then came the game changer, March 12, 2010, when Meek dropped his Flamers 2.5, The Wait Is Over mixtape. That joint lit the streets on fire. Just a few months later in August, he followed up with Mr. Philadelphia and surprised fans.
Bro, I remember those mixtapes, bro. 2010. This was Meek's time, bro. Oh my days. Just thinking about it's taking me back, bro. The nostalgia that he's hitting me with, fam. Bro, those were the proper songs. Those were the proper songs, yeah. For the summer, fam. For the early 10 summer, fam. This was Meek's time. Meek was really taking over. This was Meek at his very peak. What? Nah, it's taking me back, bro. I remember listening to those records back to back and non-stop, bro. Meek was really doing his thing for sure, fam. I'm telling you, fam. This when Meek was on fire, fam. Bro was dropping proper records for the summer as well. Like, he had some cool records for the summer as well, bro. I'll never forget, bro. He had records. You gotta give it to Meek. Meek came heavy into the game, bro. He came heavy.
With a fresh new look, he chopped off his signature braids. By February 2011, Meek Mill signed with Rick Ross's Maybach Music Group, and from there, his career took off like a rocket. But the heat wasn't done yet, because on August 11th, things started getting real crazy. In 2011, Meek Mill came through with the first Dream Chasers mixtape. And after that, there was no denying it. He was one of the hottest names in the rap game. But not everybody was celebrating his come-up. Cassidy started noticing a shift. He claimed Meek had gotten real cocky and full of himself after blowing up.
Recently, we just had this whole Meek Mill, the Game, and the Beanie Siegel. And there's a verse where Game getting at Meek, and he said your name. He said something about I'm on the way to Philly, da da da. Listening to the old cast. What did you think of that when you first heard that?
Shout outs to Game.
Okay.
Game respect bars. Like, we got videos together where, you know, Game big me up for having bars, and this was back in the day.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So Game Ben knew I get it popping, and he probably know that me and Meek went through something before, so who else would you want to listen to at that time but me? And when I was going at him, it gave you a guideline and a formula of how to defeat them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, shout out to Game for that.
Right, okay. So what do you think about that beef as a whole? Like, what's your opinion on that whole beef? Like, what is your opinion on that whole beef?
Well, it's like I'm not I got loads around me that be like all on social media and all that shit, like finding out the information and getting it to me. But I'm not like a vicious boy, like go to every site and know all of the information and I ain't talk to them personally.
Right.
So I'm not even sure if all of the shit I know is even the truth or what really started it, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not really sure. But if Meek was like showing Nicki pictures of the nigga Safari popping the bitch, and then he got something to do with the cops coming to Game crib, then I don't approve of that. It's like, I don't care where I'm from or what, I don't approve of that, but I didn't see the paperwork. I don't know if that's the truth.
Okay.
I don't know if what Meek's saying about the game is the truth, you know what I'm saying? So that's between them.
Right.
And I don't feel no type of way about it. I seen a lot of people commenting on social media like, yo, help Meek, man. For Philly, yo, you should really help Meek, man. It's like, what? Meek never helped me do nothing. Like, when I had problems, like, paying.
Is this which one started the beef then? It was either this slick comment that made Meek take it personal, or it was Meek really saying what he's saying, because he was saying a lot about Cassidy. So maybe he was saying a lot about Cassidy because of these comments that Cassidy just made about Meek. So it's one or the other. What led to the beef? So this might have been it. It might have been the comments that stirred up the fucking beef. You know, everyone on Cassidy's case, like, help Meek. And bro didn't respond, Meek never really helped me. It's always the small little comments that then turns into something so big. So this might have been the cause of it.
The bill or something, is like, where was Meek? Meek was like holding up all his money like he talking on the phone, and I'm like, yo, helping out. Like, Meek wasn't there for me, so why when a nigga got a problem with Meek, I should help him out? Like, that don't make no sense.
Right.
Especially when Game is my man. Like, I f with Game.
Oh.
Like, I done got money with Game. I done called Game out to jump on records with me. Game was there. He's been on my albums before. We done did his songs and videos and all type of shit. Like, so I got money with Game. I never got no money with me.
Right.
So it's like, why would I help me? Or why would I get involved? That's between them.
Right.
But I like to see niggas going through that. I like the competitive, you know what I mean, energy that's getting back in the game. I like the way the temperature is shifting. I like what's going on because that's what I love. And that's where I excel at.
According to Cassidy, he reached out to Meek a few times, trying to collab on music now that Meek was popping. But Meek wasn't trying to hear it. That rubbed Cassidy the wrong way, especially since he had shown Meek love before.
Okay. So that's what started. I keep thinking, like, which one actually took place, bro? So it was the call. This was mentioned in the beginning. This is exactly what was mentioned in the beginning. It was the call when Cassidy was trying to reach out to Meek and Meek was just trying to air him. They didn't respond to him, nothing. Wasn't trying to hear anything he was trying to say. And these times he was trying to make a record with him. But Meek must have thought, nah, I'm too big for him. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, basically. I was yapping about this for quite long as well. Just breaking down the situation. Yeah. I see.
For the fame. Cassidy felt played, like Meek turned his back on him right when things flipped. From there, the tension started bubbling. Cassidy even said, I wanted to ask you, man, how did the beef, if you would call it that, even with Meek Mill originally? It was clear he didn't feel the love anymore. Then in November 2012, things finally exploded. Meek hopped on Twitter and challenged Cassidy to a $100,000 rap battle.
Damn.
Cassidy was with it. He accepted that challenge without hesitation. But Meek switched up fast and walked it back. He tweeted, "Now I don't want to battle, LOL. I'm gonna stick to making this fire. Dudes talk too much. I'm not gonna battle none of these dudes. That's not popping. I'm popping. Some of these dudes
What the
gotta pay me
fuck?
to
How
do
is that cool, bro? This guy is weird for doing that, bro. What? Wait, did he actually do that, bro? Bro, do you know how embarrassing? Bro pulled the J. Cole on Kendrick Lamar. Like, literally. This is somebody and then taking it back. That's basically what he's done. And I thought J. Cole was the first one to ever do that. That is mad, bro. That is mental. How are you gonna pull... Are you gonna pull back from a battle rap, fam? This is mad. Like, bro, you challenged Cassidy to a battle rap, 100K, yeah? And then you back up from the beef and say, nah, that's not popping. I'm gonna keep making this fire. I'm what's popping. Bro, how is that cool? How is that cool? Herbert's said Meek Mill gay, bro, not gonna lie. Bro, did you see that? Did you see that? Who you picking, bro? Cassidy or Meek Mill? We taking it back. We're reminiscing the old battle rap between the old feud between Meek Mill and Cassidy. We're reminiscing that, bringing that back, and just, you know, watching and find out what really took place, how it went down, how he started, how he ended. I was there, man. I was listening to the records when they was going back and forth. I just didn't know how he started. But I didn't know that this even happened, so it's interesting to know now. This is crazy. He challenged him and then he backed out from the beef. That's fucking crazy. Pulled the J. Cole, and I thought J. Cole was the first one to ever do that. Turns out the Meek is the first one to ever do that. Man, this is why it's so important to do your hip-hop history, bro. Do your hip-hop search, bro. Do your music search.
My album hotter than any battle rap you can ever make. Dreams and nightmares go get that real shit, man. I said I wanted Mook and Cassidy to battle. Mook the king of that shit to me. Just a month later, in December,
but you
Cassidy got a deal to make a remix of Gangnam Style called Custom Style. Meek clowned it hard. He jumped on Instagram and posted a pic of Cassidy with the caption, "Go to rapwriter.com. This is the worst song in the history of rapping. This gotta be a joke." Cassidy wasn't gonna let that slide. Just a few days later, he fired back with a track called Me, Myself, and iPhone, and he threw some serious shots at Meek Mill. This is where things really popped off on wax. After Cassidy dropped Me, Myself, and iPhone, the beef was officially in full swing. Cass pulled up to the Breakfast Club to talk about the situation, laying it all out with no filter. But Meek wasn't staying quiet either. Cassidy's longtime friend A.R. Ab stepped in and made it clear he wasn't picking sides. He said straight up that he didn't care about the beef and that he wasn't larceny family. That comment hit Cassidy sideways. So on January 5th, 2013, Cassidy came back with
Raid. That's when he dropped Raid. Yes, my favorite. Listen, Raid to me, bro, I don't care what anybody says, bro. Raid was probably one of the hardest diss records in a rap game, bro. I'm sorry, it's so underrated and it pisses me off that it's so underrated. But that record there, this record, that's what finished Meek. There was nothing else that Meek could have done to respond to that 10-minute diss record, bro. Straight dissing Meek Mill, not only dissing, but giving that man tip and advice. Yeah, tips and advice on how to handle his career. Bro, I go back to listen to that shit back to back every single time, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Raid is probably one of the hardest diss records I ever heard, bro. And you gotta be up there with Vaseline, Hit Him Up, Eater. You gotta be, bro. This is a 10-minute diss record, bro. It's just straight fucking Meek up, bro. I don't know. It pisses me off that he's so underrated, that record, bro. I know that he's gonna talk about Raid. 2013. I remember when he dropped that. This was like September, I think. 2013. That's when Cassidy. I remember when I heard that song for the first time, I was going crazy, bro. At the time, I think I was still in college, bro. I was going wild, bro. And even recently, I was listening to that song like a month ago, so I was listening to that song on repeat.
Straight fire. He dropped a 10-minute diss track called Raid. And yo, he went off. Cass bodied the beat while switching through classic hip-hop instrumentals like it was nothing. It was a lyrical massacre.
Killing it,
Meek
bro.
Mill clapped back on Twitter, hyped and ready for smoke. He posted a string of tweets saying, "Let's stop tweeting and give the fans what they want tomorrow. I'm done dissing when you don't got time to write raps.
What?
We gonna donate. Then we could give
what
the money
the fuck?
to
Bro, what? Wait, did this happen? I swear he responded back. Didn't he respond back? I didn't think he would anyway. Like, to me, honestly, Raid did it for me. Raid, literally, even if he had responded, I don't know if he did or not, but Raid is literally what did it for me, bro. That ended Meek differently. That ended Meek to me, bro. But because Meek was popping, you know, the beef died down, and therefore the battle rap, this beef that these guys had, this feud that these guys had, just turned out to be so irrelevant. It's just not irrelevant. I'm not gonna say irrelevant, but it died down that it became underrated, and it pisses me off that it was underrated. Because this record, Raid, that fucked Meek up, bro, completely. Even though Meek was at his peak, his career, he still got to keep his career, he still got to do his thing, he still was Meek Mill doing his thing, you know, making hit records, dropping fire albums and songs. I mean, he's at his peak, I get it. But let's not deny, let's not sit here and act like Raid destroyed Meek Mill, fam. Might have not destroyed his career, because he didn't, because his career was still pretty much good. It was still good. But is literally what settled the beef. This is what settled the beef completely.
schools they trying to shut down. Our city needs it. Let's do it tomorrow. Then he threw more jabs. You don't even come back home. And when Beanie Siegel was in jail, he was never on.
How is he not responding with this song? He's just making tweets? Bro, what? You're supposed to go back to back.
On PC, so we know that was a lie. After tomorrow, I don't want to hear no more about it. Now we calling your bluff. Somebody put up the money. If you don't got it, I'm waiting. Riding through my old hood in my new whip. Meek kept firing, tweeting. To Cassidy larceny, you got booked for a body you ain't due and took a deal on your co-defendant. Left him for dead, halfway telling.
Back in the day, you tried to sign Meek Mill, he declined, right?
Oh, well, yeah, I had a situation.
He got bodied,
like
bro.
When I first got
like this is so funny, bro. Meek Mill got bodied so hard in that 10-minute diss record. Bro started doing tweets, bro. Bro started dropping tweets instead of dropping records, bro. Bro had nothing else to say. He couldn't really keep up with the heat, so therefore he decided to tweet talking about some donation. I get it, donating, helping for the community, whatever the case may be. But bro, you in the middle of a battle rap. You in the middle of a battle rap. You stop rhyming, you stop spitting, and then you start getting a bit, not personal, but it's like you start just bringing up some other shit that has nothing to do with the beef. You in the middle of, bro, you in the middle of a fucking battle, bro. That's like being in a ring with a boxer. I like to use the boxing analogy because it makes perfect sense and it works best always. You're in a ring with your opponent, you're throwing punches, and you starting to get rocked. You're all getting rocked, bro. Left, right, center, hooks, like uppercuts, everything, jabs, straights, everything, right? And then all of a sudden you stop mid-fight to argue, literally verbally argue, like to talk shit. Like, bro, how does that make sense, bro? That's literally what he's done. Being in the middle of the ring with his opponent, you're supposed to throw them punches back, and he decided to stop the fight just to argue. Bro, throw them punches back. Try and knock him down. Try win the fucking fight. You couldn't keep up with the punches because he's throwing them punches. He's clearly about to knock you out, and you stopped to argue? What? You lost. You know what I'm saying? Didn't destroy his career. He didn't destroy his career, but he sure he sure beat him in a battle rap for sure. He sure beat him in a battle rap. He got defeated in a battle rap for sure.
When I first split from the majors and I started to go independent,
Mm-hmm.
and I had an independent deal, and I was gonna give him an independent situation to keep doing what he was doing on the streets, but get more of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a stepping stone before he signed to a major, because I know he was planning on doing that soon. But it ain't necessarily work out. You know what I mean? But I was just showing love to Meek, a dude from my city. You know what I mean? And I was in the business way before me, so I had a lot more information. And I knew a lot because I already been through them budgets before, already put out projects and know how the game go. So, you know what I mean? I was just trying to show him the independent format from that time, something that I was on at that time. So, it ain't necessarily work out, but business ain't fair. So you see what Meek going through now. Like in the beginning, when you first signing them contracts and they investing in you and you got radio budgets and you go from being a hood nigga to being a celebrity and everybody know you. There's so much going on that you blinded.
It's a big shift.
The paperwork and the contracts and the situation ain't right. You just so excited to be in the predicament you in. But after you in that predicament for a minute, you in that situation, you know what it's like to be a star, you comfortable with it, then you start wanting to know where my money at. And once they start letting you know that you don't got no money coming in and you actually owe us money, then that's when you start asking questions. You start asking managers, lawyers, it start getting weird. And I've seen it a million times. I just know stuff like that be happening. So, you know what I mean? I definitely spoke about that, not just with Meek, but with all of these rappers. I be trying to let them know that those are the type of things that come along with the game.
But when fans expected Meek to respond with a track, he stayed silent. A couple of weeks later, he sat down with Hip Hop since 1987 for an interview. When asked if he was dropping a diss back at Cassidy, Meek shut it down. He said he wasn't responding.
Bro, you lost, bro. He fucking lost, bro. He lost that fucking battle, fam. Oh my god. Might have not destroyed his career, but he sure got that L, fam, in that battle rap. He sure got that L in a battle rap. Yeah, he lost that battle rap, fam. He didn't destroy his career though, because I remember 2013 Meek Mill was pretty much still hot, you know, still doing his thing, you know. He was pretty much still very relevant. He was really doing his thing. He was still popping. He was still on fire. Didn't do anything to his career, but he definitely done something to his battle record. You know, his battle record, I don't know how many L's he got, but that was one of many L's that he got right there. You know, that was one of many L's. That just added up to one of the L's right there. That's crazy. Bro basically lost that battle rap. There you go. That settles it.
Cassidy, a weirdo from the town who doesn't even come back to Philly. 2 months after calling Cassidy a weirdo, Meek Mill hit another interview, and this time he came with bars. He spit a diss he had written for Cassidy, but fans still had to wait. It wasn't until 8 months later, on September 5th, 2013, that Meek finally dropped the full track called Kendrick You Next. In it, he aimed shots straight at Cassidy, and even sent a warning to Kendrick Lamar, letting him know he could get it next. Cassidy did.
Bro, but this is 5 months later, G. Like, bro waited a whole 5 months later, bro. Like,
didn't waste no time. Just 2 days later, he clapped back with Catch a Body, another brutal diss track aimed at Meek. He was showing once again that when it comes to battle bars, he was untouchable. Cass was out for blood and didn't hold back at all. Then in June 2014, Cassidy sat down with DJ Vlad and played it cool, saying the whole back and forth with Meek was just hip-hop, nothing more. But the drama didn't fully die. Fast forward to 2016, and Meek Mill found himself in a heated beef with The Game. On Game's diss track Pest Control, he name-dropped Cassidy. When Cass was asked about it in a This Is 50 interview, he gave props to Game for the shout-out, and even touched on his own past beef with Meek. For a while, things seemed calm, like the beef had been put to rest. But in 2017, Cassidy popped back up in another Vlad TV interview, where he threw shade again, saying he didn't see Meek Mill or Kendrick Lamar as real battle rappers. Then in early 2021, Cassidy hit the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast and broke it all down again. He claimed Meek started switching up after he signed his record deal, and to make it even messier, later that same year, Meek Mill had a public falling out with Rick Ross and MMG. That's when Meek admitted his deal with Maybach Music Group wasn't all that great. Meek Mill didn't hold back when he aired out his issues with MMG. He tweeted, "I haven't gotten paid for music, and I don't know how much money labels make off me. I need lawyers. ASAP." It was clear. Meek felt like he was getting played and wanted answers, fast. So now it wasn't just rap beef. Meek was officially at battle with his own label. Then in February 2022, Cassidy pulled up once again on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. When asked about Meek's drama with MMG, he kept it real, saying he had tried to help Meek in the past, but things just didn't go how he hoped. Since then, silence. No more shots, no diss tracks, no studio.
But even though he said that about MMG, saying that MMG was taking money from him, how comes they dropped an album last year? He dropped an album with Rick Ross, didn't he? As far as I'm concerned, they dropped that album Kobe and Shaq, which was quite a cool album actually. That wasn't even a bad album. I think this was last year. Yeah, they dropped an album last year. This was just last year. So I thought everything was still cool. He was still cool with Rick Ross. Didn't think there was an issue there for him to say what he said about not getting paid from MMG. So yeah, I don't even know how that took place. Especially considering that they dropped an album. I thought they actually fell off, but they were still cool.
Reunions. This beef between Meek Mill and Cassidy still hasn't been settled, even after all these years. And honestly, it'd be wild to see them finally link up, maybe drop a freestyle or two, just for the culture. If you like this breakdown, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your people.
Hey man, classic beef. Yeah. This was a classic beef, man, with Meek Mill and Cassidy. Too bad he was just very underrated. But yeah, I remember this time. I remember when they were going back and forth at the time. They had some issues. Didn't know he went up until 2021. I didn't know he continued after that. Didn't know he went on for so long. And I didn't even know how he started. So I had to find out, bro. Because this was a legendary beef indeed. That's going to go down the hip-hop history books. But yeah, nah, this was cool. To learn some hip-hop history, you know, some hip-hop history lesson. Why not? Yeah, man. There you have it. Cassidy versus Meek Mill. Taking it back.
Down there, Marco.